Yeah, you should probably be on the agenda, and we can come up and visit about it. Sounds good. Thank you very much. Bye.
So I'll make a motion to approve the secondary road budget for 2005.
That's the
The
construction.
construction program.
And that's the construction program. This is the,
And that's just proposed.
Budget? No, that's the one.
that's it.
That's it.
That's the one we have, that we just had not signed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one we turn in the state.
Can I make the motion?
Okay, all right. I'll second the motion that we approve the secondary road construction program budget and the secondary road budget. Second motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say nay. Motion carried. Those budgets are approved. I signed them.
Yeah, you signed it.
Yep.
Jim makes this. Okay.
Is Ron coming?
Yeah, he was,
He's stuck in traffic.
he called me and said that he was,
He should be here, but
I guess I'll talk a little bit about that phone call. That was Chris Whitaker from Region 12, and he said that he would be on the agenda and come up and we could discuss the question. We've had a question on how ag fits into the planning and zoning thing that we have right now, and there's been some question from the ag sector as to whether they need to have a permit because ag isn't zoned. There's disagreement about whether they still need to have a building permit or not. And so he's going to come up and get on the agenda, and we're going to visit about that. Pretty much his initial response was that if it goes through the system and someone challenges it, it would be at the pleasure of the county attorney. He will be the one that would defend it. And so you need to be in a position where he's comfortable with what you have, and as far as the code is concerned, and because he would be the one defending it if it's challenged. So. Chris's initial reaction is that yes, that it's not zoned. When they come in and do their application, then it would be stamped exempt. But because the application process was done, that they would still pay the building permit fee. So that's his initial reaction. That still needs to be discussed and determined by county attorney and how he feels about defending.
Say that one more time.
Right now, Code of Iowa says that planning and zoning doesn't apply to the ag sector.
Right.
That does not, the interpretation of that does not say that ag still isn't required to have a building permit. We would not have the authority to say, planning and zoning in any county wouldn't have the authority to say that you couldn't construct it. But it's their opinion that, and he said most all cities and most all counties still do go through the permit process, and for various reasons, assessor and secondary roads and all those that might be affected, for an information process that they are still required to do the permit. But once they've gone through the application of the permit process, then because it's ag sector or determined ag sector, whether it be grain bin or animal building or something like that, then it would receive an exempt status for the construction part of it. But
They still have to pay a fee.
Because the application process had to be done. And just like any other, whether it be city or county, rural, or whatever, that fee is associated with the application.
So if you follow, through that, you almost have to go that far to determine, somebody's got to determine whether it's ag.
Right, that's his point.
99% of the time it'll be exempt because, it'll be identified as ag use. Like, I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
And your fee structure was set up based on
The,
size of the...
the planning and zoning suggested, and we approved, that it was done on the cost of construction. And their recommendation was that say a $6,000 garage shouldn't pay the same rate that maybe a $2.5 million other project might pay. And so that was their recommendation, that's what we approved. And so I think the maximum fee was $500. And I don't have it in front of me, there was something up to, there was a zero category, like from $0 to $5,000 or something. And then it went up from there. So there's still some discussion, and we need to, public meeting, talk about that and determine what's right. But they're also indicating that the county attorney needs to be part of that.
It's a tough call, basically.
That's, yeah, that too.
And Dean's, I guess just initially, Dean's statement, that you have to go through the application process to determine whether, so I think that's what their recommendation came from.
Will contest it, basically.
Sure.
You'd have Russ Davis there too. That's in front of your own, just more information.
Yeah, and I think probably the first step is to visit with Earl about it, and then we would put it on the agenda and talk about it.
They're going to be here next week.
Oh, they are on the agenda? Okay.
I don't know. I think they want to be put on the agenda. We approve the construction budget.
Okay. Donnie, get all your questions answered on that then, or?
There weren't very many, we looked it over our budget.
Well, I meant more of the program than the budget, I guess. Well, I looked at the budget that was approved, and it,
And then
We passed a resolution to include the funding of a FEMA bridge on the current year's budget.
you understood that there's no change in the budget for that because one bridge is not gonna get let before
1st of July.
1st of July, so we had 200,000 there.
But that, 80% of that comes back anyway.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's at least 80, isn't it?
From the FEMA?
Yeah.
75, isn't it?
75 from Fed and
15, so it's actually costing us 10.
Yeah,
Half Ida, half us.
yeah. But even if if we get this thing let, they might spend some of the money for expenditures, but we'll probably not get anything back this year from FEMA.
How quickly do you receive that back?
I'm trying to remember, we haven't done a big project like this with FEMA before. I don't know, did they say whether they want progress payments or they want to wait till the end to reimburse the whole thing?
They're gonna do an audit at the end.
I mean, it's nice to get it back quickly, but we know it's coming back, so.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think they would probably pay you partial payments in your land, but that's the one thing we'd have to check with and find out. Since we're talking about that bridge, item 3 is the bridge, and that guy's already told you we did get FEMA approval for the 80-footer, so basically, right now we're just waiting for the Army Corps